Good day to you. Some of you might ask, what in the world do I do for a living? Well, if you haven't figured it out now, some of you, of course, know. Many supporting churches watch here, but I am a teacher of the Bible. I take the Bible text and I explain it, but specifically I explain it to people overseas. Now, how we do that in our country is interesting because we have 4 different languages that come to be with us, and many of them don't know English. So I have to do quite the jump through to get some things going on, and I wanted to show you quickly kind of what my process is. So first of all is text. So we started going through a Bible series in the book of James. James is for Christians and to live a better life. So we have some Christians who have been born again who are attending services with us. And so, as you can see here, I'll show you, this is James chapter 2. And so this is the message that we'll be going through on this coming Sunday. So I take the chapter. Typically you want to go verse by verse, but for our purposes, I'm giving them a general overview of each chapter of the book in each book of the Bible as we briefly go through everything. So right now we're going through the entire chapter 2 in one chunk. So I'm basically trying to explain to them what this is. And so in chapter 2, you can basically split it in 2 parts. And so I write that down in my book here. And I'll show you here. So the first thing I do is I go through the text and I find out not what it means to me, but what it meant to them first. And then through that, after that, we come up with what does it mean to us. So this would be an outline of what we do. And so I do the outline first. And then after I do the outline, and that's when it gets to be even more interesting here, I will go here to my pages document, and then what I'll do is I'll take my text here and then I'll basically preach it to my computer. So I'll push this button right here on my computer, which is a microphone, and then I'll begin to record everything that I speak. And I will talk through this lesson as my computer writes it out for me. And so as it continues to write, I will take this text after I preach it to my computer, and I'll stop that. And then I will take it over here to ChatGPT. Interestingly enough, I will paste that in here, and I'll have her spell check it and make sure everything has its periods and punctuations and is spelled correctly. Helpful thing. And then once I'm done with that, then I will use ChatGPT to actually translate it into 3 different languages. So we'll translate it, so we'll have it in English, and then we'll also translate it into our native language here. Then also we have many Russians that are being with us now, and so I'll translate it into Russian. And then we have a family here from Argentina, and so then I will translate that also into Spanish. And so we'll have 4 different languages here. So I'll show you more of how we do that. Then after I get that, I make some thumbnail pages. So these are the different thumbnail pages that we would go through. There's English and Spanish, and then there's Russian down here, and then our other language. So then I put that back into my pages document, and that's kind of what it looks like. And so then after that, then what I do is I will print this. And so I'm going to add a page, so it's blank there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to print, and I'm 23, let's see, page 23 to page 30. Okay, and I'm going to create a booklet out of those pages. And so here's the Spanish version. Now it's not completely accurate, right? And so, but it's pretty close. And so they're going to be able to sit in services and kind of get the gist, the idea of what's going on in service as we preach. We have a couple translators that would be there, but having it translated live into 3 languages in a small room gets kind of confusing. So we're just trying to do the best we can until the Lord gives us a different situation. So I'm going to print. I have to manually print both sides. So the first I'm going to print, and I think I'm going to go with seven pages. And it's going to be able to print. those 7 pages right here. So after it's done printing, then I'll flip it over and then print the other side. So when I'm done, I'll have the message prepared, the outline prepared, and then it'll be here. And then I'll fold these into 2-page documents like this. And so it'll have its pages. I'll put a staple in it, and then it'll be a little handout that everybody can have to follow along. Sometimes I'll put, if there's an empty page, I'll put prayer requests and prayers on the back. And so that's really one of the things that we do, and to try to be an encouragement and to help to people. But the whole idea is to make the Bible make sense to people here in their different languages. So it's not the best solution, but it's what we've got going on right now. So may God encourage you, may God bless you in all that you do. And like James chapter 2 says, don't let your faith just be to yourself. But if we're not sharing our faith, if our faith isn't active by our deeds, by what we do, then our faith is really kind of pointless, keeping it to ourselves. If you start a fire out in the middle of the desert and no one's around, the fire's kind of pointless, you know. So let's make sure that we're making our faith available to the people in the world around us. You have a blessed day. God bless you, keep you safe, and strengthen you. And we'll talk to you again. Ciao.